2032 is the ending of the 2019 trilogy.
Naturally, since it's the last campaign of a 3-part series, it carries a lot of weight, but I'm not gonna lie, I think this map couldn't handle the weight. The description of the map has a lot to it, and honestly, if you skip through it, you're gonna be confused when playing it. The map creator has designed this entire campaign to be played single player. Yeah, that's right, Left 4 Dead 2. The co-op game that was designed with co-op in mind. Making a map for Left 4 Dead 2 and designing it around single player is a definition of setting yourself up for failure. We're not talking like playing alone with bots. No, this guy wants you to play Last Man on Earth style, but without the mutation changes like getting rid of the common infected. I'm just gonna give this map the benefit of the doubt and hope that this random decision to make it single player only won't completely ruin the entire trilogy, because even though 2019 Part 2 had its problems, I definitely wouldn't call it a bad map.
The map starts with a cutscene recapping the events of the previous map. Frankly, I just don't really care because the story is just too difficult to follow. Half the time, you won't be able to hear what these people are saying because the game audio completely overlaps it.
Dated July 8th, 2019. We're hearing strange report of activity from San Marino. Sickness is going around this.
And this has been a problem throughout the entire trilogy. As soon as the cutscene ends, something already feels off about this map. Horribly wrong. You move slower, your character movement speed has been nerfed. But why? This lasts throughout the entire campaign, so you better get accustomed to this new movement speed. After listening to the dialogue, a Half-Life 2 rebel opens the door for us to proceed. Unfortunately, we don't get any starting weapons or first aid, but we do get a nightstick and some pills, which makes zero sense since everyone else has a gun except us. The people doing the side quests for these clowns, entering this hallway forces us to move at a snail's pace. Again, why is the map changing the movement speed of your character? Is it trying to be cinematic? As bad as Bio Mountain was, at least it didn't mess with the controls of the survivors. Countering our first zombie brings up even more problems. First of all, the nightstick doesn't even one-shot the zombies anymore. I mean, sometimes it does, but it's very inconsistent, which automatically makes it horrible. You can't just make a major change like making the melee's 2-shot without making major changes to Left 4 Dead 2's fundamental workings. If you melee a zombie, essentially you're guaranteed to get hit. Like, how is that good gameplay? Instead of using regular doors that could be broken by the infected or the player, the map decides to use these automatic doors that barely function. Oftentimes you'll get stuck behind these doors because there's just too many players nearby. The door probably gets stuck because this map was designed to be a single player map, but that is no excuse since it still allows you to play up to 4 people. But even when you play this map alone, the doors still barely function as needed. After going down a ladder, a hunter pops out of nowhere and immediately scratches you for 40 damage. That's just a beginner's trap, straight up, plain and simple. There's no way to know that hunter's coming.
Already a 1
Maybe
for
if the
me,
hunter
if I'm gonna
made
be honest.
sounds like that one cry at Fear part.
It's pitch black. Oh no, we've got some sounds.
He just pops out of nowhere.
Wow!
And now we're crawling through a vent, which lasts for 40 seconds. It's random how long this is. And it's like a ginormous pause to the already horrible map. Getting out of the vent, we finally find a gun and some first aids. After getting the guns, we find an elevator, which ends the chapter. So this is a rough beginning, and it's mostly due to the random balance changes, like your movement speed and the damage nerfs. But that's not the only thing. The doors often get stuck, and the bots are beyond useless and can cause soft locks. Most of these issues are conscious decisions made by the map creator that didn't need to be made. Unfortunately, Chapter 2 retains all the gameplay changes made in Chapter 1. The chapter does, at the very least, start you with weapons, even though it's just a shotgun again. Does the map creator have something against SMGs? It's been 2 weapon drops with no SMGs. What's wrong with SMGs? There are audio logs that you can interact with, but good luck trying to listen to what's being said over the game audio.
What a heavy attack!
You can find a fire axe, but it has the same problem the nightstick has. It doesn't consistently one-shot zombies. In fact, you can chop zombies' head off and they'll still be alive. Holy crap. It's as if I'm playing World at War Zombies. You think the slower speed of the axe would make it one-shot, but nah.
That's too overpowered. Let's talk about this map's visuals. Personally, I don't think it looks that bad, but the map never opens up. It's always enclosed, claustrophobic. There's no interesting landmarks or anything. I understand that we're inside of a bunker, but the map could have done more. It's just hallways after hallways. And now that I think about it, there's been no special infected in this map so far. I'm assuming this is because it's designed for single player, but no special infected takes away a huge part of Left 4 Dead 2's identity. Special infected is what makes Left 4 Dead 2 Left 4 Dead 2. And for what? For a single player experience that is designed to be a multiplayer experience? And who would want to play this map alone? Not me, I'll tell you that much. Continuing on, we find a locked door, so we have to go down this ladder to find a key card. Once we do, we interact with the monitors and go back to the security room to open the locked Delta sector door. However, once we do, a horde of infected swarm the bunker and kill almost all the NPCs in the first chapter. The funny thing is, there's a bunch of essential dialogue going on here, but you'll never hear it over the zombies. After clearing the horde, we continue on through the level. There's a couple more audio logs that you can interact with, but nothing more than that. Nothing noteworthy happens the rest of the chapter. While this chapter isn't as annoying as chapter 1, it still doesn't make it any good, since it still carries the same balancing issues. This map goes for a rush finale, basically an infinite horde as you navigate to the escape. Usually these finales aren't really a problem, but with the balance changes, we're out here wasting ammo because our secondaries were nerfed for no reason other than superficial difficulty. And the finale makes zero sense. It's a rush finale that forces you to use your primary because your melee doesn't one-shot. Just making a major change like that and leaving the game as is just makes the game trash! To think you're supposed to solo this with zero help. How dare you, map creator? Why don't you solo your own map, huh? I bet he didn't even playtest this by himself. Anyways, after 10 minutes of walking down the same hallways with an infinite horde of zombies, you eventually reach a majestic ladder, triggering a cutscene. That cutscene is basically a PowerPoint presentation. The thing that bothers me is that the audio is actually pretty loud. I can hear what the voice actor is saying clearly, which is good. But why are we doing that at the end of the series? Cool, it's great that we finally hear the audio, but it's too late. Way too late. I mean, the show ended a year ago. The guy or narrator, I don't know who's talking, names a bunch of Half-Life 2 models and something about the bunker driving people crazy. It's super serious, like someone's a eulogy. We walk around the city for some reason, maybe confirming that the survivors didn't instantly die from whatever airborne disease is outside, and then it fades to black. Yeah, that's right. An after credits scene after an after credits scene. Apparently, Nick from 2019 Part 2 is still alive, which means the canon ending is the ending in which Nick survives, basically making the choices you made in 2019 Part 2 not matter since only one ending is canon. Don't know why this is here. Probably because the map creator is trying to say there's going to be a fourth map, which I doubt will ever come out. 2032 is an absolute disaster of a map. Easily a 2 out of 10. Having a bad and boring level design is bad enough, but actively changing the gameplay for no reason and making it worse is just something so random that it feels like it was a change that was made last minute.
There is absolutely no fun to be had playing this map with those balance changes that only apply to the survivors. Apparently, if you get caught by a special infected, you could shove them off, which again destroyed the entire game's design. How did it get to this? We went from one of the most famous and recognizable maps ever made to a map that tried a few new things but struggled due to its ambitions to a map that sabotaged itself to the ground. Wow, what a way to end the 2019 trilogy. Even though I might sound negative saying this, the series ended in a way that was commendable, trying something new, never done before in Left 4 Dead 2, even though it failed. I'd give it a 1 out of 10. You're lucky my friend is trash!